morning, hello and welcome to part 2 of Dealer's Choice, and today it is the Firaldo show.
What's wrong is that guy?
Anyway, how are we doing, sir?
Not bad, my man. Yourself?
I see you all, mate, see you all. We may have to we'll get subtitles for this one.
Aye.
The ball here away for being a Ludo and me story, and I may have to remove this. I got all the memorabilia up for you as well, just for you coming on, you know.
Oh dear, for sure.
How's lockdown been treating you, sir?
Oh, I mean, all right. You know, it's getting to me a bit. You know me, I like to be out and about and over at different bits, so it's not the best, but you know, it's the same for everyone. So just need to suck it up.
That's it. I think we're all chomping at the bit to get back to, I would say normality, but God knows what normality is after 2 months stuck behind a hedge, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's, as you say, it's the same for everybody, but what can you do? How you been keeping busy?
Just obviously got the wee man in the house. The baby's keeping everyone busy. Apart from that, I mean, not as every time I have like all these productive ideas and then just can't be arsed doing them. So I can never have the excuse of don't do that because I don't have time anymore. Because I've got plenty of time and I'm still not doing it.
So kind of, because it's fucked. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of people I know who are normally, like I said this before, they play like all these Twitch things, no poker, but they play like online stuff, and half of them wouldn't even know we're in lockdown. That's how bad they are. It's like hermits, eh? It's just been crazy. So you've just been grinding away and looking after the newborn and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I was playing a bit online. I'm playing more online than I was, but I'm not, like, I didn't even play much of Scoop or anything. I played some of the higher stuff and just got rinsed. So, I've not really been playing Super a lot. Playing a bit more now, actually, because there's not really much else to do, you know what I mean? So, get my fix.
Get your fix and just keep your fingers crossed for everything else opening up. Well, we'll kick on with this. As you've probably seen, gathered, it's just a kind of a wee talk show, as it were. No really scripted that much, and we just kick it off and take it from there. So, I mean, you were born with Marna and Donald, mother and father.
This is your life.
That is, aye. Michael Aspel's going to come out with a big red book. You have older sister Helen, younger sister Nikki, and the man I've met, the better of the Firaldos, poker-wise, Ian. Big Ian. How's he doing? Is he all right?
Aye, he's fine, aye. He was over a couple of days ago, actually. He was the one household that we got to see outside that day, so...
Bastard, eh?
Him and the kids came over and we had a paddling pool out in the back garden and some scran and a few drinks and that. It was pretty good.
I mean, I've no heard of him. I've seen he pops up every now on Facebook, but it's been a while since I've seen him. I think 25 Newcastle, where he schooled everybody.
Could be that. That was a while back now, wasn't it?
That's a wee bit, aye. And partner Edita and new one, no great with names, Ruin, am I right? Rory.
Yeah.
5-month-old?
Yep.
And how's he getting on?
He's great. I mean, he's as much work as you would expect, but it's worth it, you know. He's quite funny and keeps us on our toes anyway, so... but no, he's fine. I mean, obviously, he's 5 months old. He's not got a clue what's going on, so it could be a lot of could be anything.
Yeah, so it's like a wee bit of silver lining because you didn't want him to endure this when he's conscious to what's going on. You know what I mean? It's
yeah, and also, I mean, to be honest, I'm seeing him a lot more than I probably would have, because obviously I would still need to travel a bit for work. So that's like one of the kind of silver linings of the whole situation. I'm getting to spend a lot of time with him, so that's pretty cool.
I mean, is it the age where he'll absorb it all anyway, like shapes and voices and stuff like that? So again, every cloud sort of thing.
Yeah.
And what about the missus? How's she? For those that don't know, Edita is in the poker world as well.
Yes.
She what's she doing with herself now when she is working? What's she?
She's not at the moment. She was working with Party for a bit, but she actually quit a bit before, like 3 weeks before we found out she was pregnant. So,
Because she used to be a dealer as well, though, and she used to run card rooms.
Yeah, she was a dealer. She was a dealer, and then she was mostly on the registration desk at Party.
Mhm.
So folk like me who are registering every tournament 6 times because they're shite and know her pretty well. But
First name terms and all the credit card details as well to go in.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but just now she's been great. I mean, God knows what I would do if she wasn't here. she's definitely the glue that holds this whole.
And the wee man would be looking after you, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's it. She's like she's got 2 kids, you know.
Aye, yeah, aye. Well, true. Now you're I get a person I like to class as a friend, and a very intelligent one at that. We all have our shenanigans. We all like to get in the old Jaeger train and karaoke and all that shenazzle. But one of the more intelligent guys I know.
So you must have some daft pals, mate.
Or name. Now you studied law at Stirling University. You passed with flying colours.
I wouldn't say flying colours, but I've got the bit of paper.
Well, you passed that. You're an intelligent man. You know all your stuff. You know your politics and you know mathematics, reading a person, etc., etc. Now, the one question people are going to ask is, with all that knowledge, how the hell are you a Celtic fan?
Self-explanatory, isn't
it? Yeah, bastard. Nah, I mean, for those that don't know, you are a big Celtic man. Through and through. We've shared a pub together a few times when the old firm games have been on. I've yet to experience a Rangers victory in your presence, unfortunately. So, bastard.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But aye, so a big Celtic man. You're still in Dumfries and the now Queen of the South Country?
Yeah. I moved back to Dumfries, I think, just over 2 years ago now. I was away since basically I went to uni at 18. So,
and what brought you back?
Just family. Really, I was there's a lot of things kind of came together. I was in Canada for a few years, with my ex-girlfriend, and then when we broke up, obviously I wasn't in Canada anymore, and I was back. So I was back at my mum's for like a month or so, and then I went and lived with Picasso in Glasgow for about a year or something. And he was meant to be moving to Germany with his missus, but that kind of fell through. But at that time, we'd given up the lease on the house.
So you had
I'd kind of decided I wanted to rent in Dumfries because I didn't really know if I was going to stay for that long.
Uh-huh.
But there wasn't really that many good places to rent. All the good places were to buy, so I ended up buying here. But it's mostly to be near like friends and family because, you know, I'm not home that much anyway. I probably spend more time out on the circuit than I do in the house. So it's you know, it's nice to see friends and family when I'm back, you know, rather than having to split my time between Canada and my friends and family. And
it's one of the quieter areas of Scotland. For people that don't know it, it's close to the border with England. Really quite well in comparison to Glasgow. It's a lot quieter.
Yeah, it's a lot smaller, a lot quieter. It's nice. I mean, it used to be a really nice place. I think it's kind of like a lot of places suffering from a lack of investment. But I mean, it's my home. I kind of grew up here. You know, I moved here when I was 8 from Glasgow, from Barrhead. So it's like, you know, I know it very well, and I know a lot of the, you know, it's one of those places a lot of people, they'll be there and they'll always going to be there. So it's like, you know, I can walk into my old local after being away for 18 months or something, and my seat's still there, like with the boys, you know, and stuff like that, which is quite cool. So
people still treat you like the wee laddie or the mate sort of thing, as opposed to for instance, you'll go certain places like, oh, it's Firaldo, he done this or he done that at poker. I've seen him on telly. They treat you like one of the boys still.
Yeah, my mates are, you know, pretty good at keeping everyone grounded and everything like that. You'll get the odd person like that, like acquaintance that you don't really know that will kind of ham up a bit, and it can be a wee bit embarrassing at times. But it's not really like that. Like people I know and people I went to school with and stuff like that, and people I played football with and things like that. It's just, you know, you've known them for years anyway, so it's not really, you know. It's not really a thing.
Aye, so it's good to get back to the norm and get back to your remember where you came from sort of thing, and then obviously you're still back staring there, eh? So as you say, it's back to your roots. When did you get into poker? Did you get into poker when you were at uni, or?
Yeah, but I used to watch late night poker on telly when I was at high school, and I quite liked it. And then I played a bit with mates at uni, and then like my third year at uni, because I was working full time as well to put myself through uni. So I was working for the car phone warehouse of all places, and I used to take some of my paycheck every month and play a wee bit online. I would just dust it off because obviously I'd be total shite. And just slowly got more interested in it. I've got kind of one of those personalities that if I get interested in something, I tend to slowly get kind of consumed by it, and then it kind of takes over everything. And then it was like going into my last year at uni, I was playing pretty regularly, and I quit my job at Carphone Warehouse, which, looking back, wasn't a very smart decision looking back, but I got pretty lucky overall. But because I didn't have any money or anything, I just quit and took $1,000 out on a credit card and stuck it online. I was like, fuck it, I'm a pro now. Somehow it worked.
I think a lot of people can relate to that still even now.
Yeah, when you hear all these stories, it's like, yeah, I grinded up $50 into millions, and I was like, nah, I just took $1,000.
That's the off in 10 minutes.
Because I couldn't be fucked selling any more phones, honestly. But I was kind of like getting by and stuff, and then, you know, it's obviously just slowly got better and started taking it more seriously. And then by the time I graduated, I said to my old dear that I'm going to give it a go full time, and if it fucks up, I've got my degree to fall back on. Mm-hmm. That was a few years ago now, 10 years ago now or something.
And what was she supportive of the idea, or was she a bit apprehensive?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she was a bit apprehensive, but she's I'm pretty lucky with my parents. They trust me to kind of make my own decisions and stuff, and so I'm impressed, because I know a lot of people have kind of issues with that, especially with I know personally some folk that their parents don't really understand it or take it as well. But I'm pretty lucky in that aspect. My mum was like, she wasn't really sure how it worked. She was kind of like, as long as no one turns up to repossess my couch or anything like that, it'll be fine. It's like, oh, I've got news for her. I mean, I might phone her after this. I've got news for her. But no, fortunately, I mean, I think they kind of trusted me that I would be able to, you know, I'm not just kind of going to do something really stupid. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've done very stupid things, but in general, I can be trusted to make fairly reasonable decisions. So
yeah. I mean, you hit the ground running. Looked a bit. You've had a few UKIPTs. First cash on the Hendon mob. Again, I'm going by what that says. Was a turbo. I think according to this, the first cash August 2010. It was a first place finish in Edinburgh UKIPT.
That's right. Yeah, it was like a £50 buy-in for like £200 first prize or something.
And the UKIPT, I used to play them, and I thought they were absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, they were amazing. It was back when, I mean, they were a big expense, obviously. But it was back, I mean, it was televised. It was a huge, big deal. Like, that was back, you know, when it was, you know, when poker stars were all about the poker, you know, and it was like the halcyon days, you might say.
That's that. I mean, the crowd that used to go as well. I mean, I remember, again, before I started dealing, some of the meetups we used to have, it was used to have the core Scottish guys, and then you would have the ones who wanted to be Scottish. Oh, some of the it'd be great nights, and then you'd wake up in the morning, you'd look at your phone, you'd have text messages. Where is everybody? Never
Uh,
mind where is everybody. Where the fuck are you?
there was a lot of that. I used to love them, man. They were great. I didn't do very well on them. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I was down money on them, but they were just great, great like trips in general. You know.
Oh, just it was good. I mean, it was just, as I said, it was the same. Wasn't it just the same crowd that drank together? But it was kind of you had the same crowd that used to go, and it used to attract a lot of the top names as well. And some of the prize pools used to get just it was crazy. And for places like Edinburgh to get events like that and attract like 500 grand prize pools and stuff like that was just. I mean, nowadays the struggle. Obviously, Black Friday came. The way things are at the moment, there's not that much money in poker, but you've still got people like yourself, Ludo, Vamplu, Fraser Mack, and a whole host of other Scottish players who still do it. Results are unreal. I mean, I've got you here, top 200, 197th all time cash, $6.1 million, and the second youngest ever Triple Crown winner.
Second youngest. I'm loving that.
Aye, behind, I don't know who the other guy, who the youngest was like.
It's some flash in the pan, I think.
But I mean, an illustrious career, and you're still a puppy. You're still a young lad. And
I don't know, I'm 32 now, mate.
Mate, you're still catching me up, and that means you're younger, eh? So, it's no hard, mate. I mean, we've got here. We have. I think was it the first leg of the Triple Crown? Was it the EPT? In Malta?
Yeah.
2015 for 534 grand. Now, as I spoke to Adam before, at Malta, I like all the stops, but there's certain stops we go on that brilliant, and I love Malta. It's easy to get to, and it is cheap as hell. And the karaoke is seemingly quite good as well, apparently.
So I've been told.
So about Malta, I mean, was it a 6-day event, 5-day event?
Oof, God.
How much you can remember about that? Or?
Not really. Like, I can't remember exactly if it was 5 or 6 days or not. I remember just getting off to a good start on day one, but then I actually started. I can't remember who was at my table, but they were on the red wine, and I dusted some of my stack off at the end of the night because I'd had a bit too much red wine. So the day ending was really good for me at that point. But I'd ran up a massive stack really early, so I was still in amongst the chip leaders after dusting some off. But I remember that. But the whole thing about that is, I just remember, running pretty well throughout, and to win a big tournament, it's kind of important, And when you're running well, it gives you confidence, even though it's like not really related to how you're playing. It's kind of a weird interaction. But just remember running pretty well throughout, and it was a tough field because it wasn't a big, massive, huge EPT field. But like the last 9 players is probably as tough as any EPT has been.
I was going to say that because I've got to hear that Sam Greenwood, Rainier Kempe, if that's how you pronounce. I'm terrible with pronunciations. Daniel Devorez,
yeah,
that's the one now. And the boy you've played heads up, Elaine Bilic. Some of even the top 20, top 30, Faraz Jaka was there as well. It's like the EPT attracts these players. I mean, you wouldn't think that the calibre, no disrespect to Malta, would be able to attract half of these. Shannon Shore, Faraz Jaka, as we said, Mike McDonald, Johnny Lodden, yourself. I mean, and it was like an illustrious final 20, 30, 40, whatever it was, and it's still like a mean feat. I mean, was there anything that sprung out to you apart from you said it was a tough field? That tournament, was there any like hand that springs you into mind and says, actually, if I didn't flip this well, or if I didn't hold here, or if I didn't fold or whatever, was there anything that springs to mind going into the final table?
I mean, the big one where I tried to dust it off with like 15 left. Where, because like one thing throughout my, like, this is just when kind of solvers and stuff were getting into the mix. So back then it was still more kind of in the streets. And one thing throughout my whole career is like I'm not really being afraid to pull the trigger if I think that if I think I'm right, I'll just go for it. And I ended up getting 9-10 suited in against Queens for just so many chips, and
I think I've seen this.
made a full house against some poor Italian boys, Queens. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, fucking. No.
Scrap that. Sorry, pal.
No, it was pretty loud, but like that was kind of I'd played really well in that tournament up until then. That was a massive punt, but sometimes it's just like, I would never do that now. I'm grown up. It's a pretty brutal hand to do it with and everything like that. But I mean, if I hadn't done that, then I probably wouldn't have won.
Yeah,
So
little things like that make it. I mean, for people that have never been in that position before that are watching, is there anything that makes you do that, or is it just a case of, I think I've got him here, and it's like the rush of blood, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and that's what it was like. I mean, the hand went like I raised, and the Italian boy 3-bet me, and then Sam Greenwood called 4-bet. And it was one of those where my hand's like, I don't have an ace or a king in my hand. I've got 10 high. I put just over 2 big blinds in the pot. That should be it. But it was one of those where it's like, I've always had very strong, particularly in my earlier career because I wasn't doing a lot of the technical work, because the technical work wasn't really a thing back then, because you'd do hand histories and you'd go over how different equities and stuff were, but there wasn't widespread use of like Pio Solver and stuff, game theory software. So you were kind of on your own, and a lot of it was instinctual. And I always had very good instincts, which was important to make money back when it wasn't as technical, so to speak. But it was just one of those spots where I was like, it's like, for lack of a more technical term, I just thought they were both at it, so I just put it in.
And that was 2 tables, down to the last 2 tables.
Yeah, it was like 15 left or something. It was on live stream as well, which is good, because I've got a nice blooper reel of all the dumb shit I've done on live, so they still come up now, and see on like Facebook videos and stuff like that. I seen one the other day of me and another EPT punting it off, and it's just, the header was top 5 poker mistakes of the decade, and the fucking thumbnail is just me rifling it off. I'm like, come on,
hey!
What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, that was a bit of a punt as well. But,
at least it's something to put on the CV, though. So you go down to the final table. Were you the chip leader going to the final table?
I was 2 of 6, because they played down to 6 then. I was like 3 of 9, I think, when we got to the actual final table. And I was lucky enough to knock out Daniel Dvoras at the end to get it to 6, which is important because he's obviously like the top 9. It was like it could have been 100k buy-in.
Yeah,
It was for an EPT. Like, you see a lot of like kind of poorer regs and like fun players and stuff make it to the final of these big EPTs and stuff. But this was just, I think there was one guy, Giuliano, who didn't play for 11, really nice guy. And I think the rest were pros and top pros, like good pros, which is like pretty unheard of. But I just sun on them all anyway, so it could have been fucking 8 Phil Ivies, mate. They had no chance. But it was pretty important, and because I had like my table draw was like me, and then I had Reiner on my direct left. I didn't know Reiner back then, as I know him now, and on his left was Sam Greenwood. And I managed to knock out Reiner and Sam, and obviously, if one of them just doubles through me, then I've got a world-class player on my left, and it really affects what I can do at the rest of the table, so just holding, I got it in good against both of them, but just those 2 holds are massive.
Yeah.
So it's just all these things that have to come together,
But you respect your own game. You know you're a decent player, or are you very, when it comes to stuff like that, are you very kind of conserved and think, well, I'm all right, it's up to other people to tell me if I'm good or not, or do you know how good you are?
I'm pretty confident in my game. I mean, I'm actually at the moment on a massive downer, so less confident now. But that's how poker works. But I will like, when you get to like the final tables or something, like you can be up against these players that are really good players. But like, for example, I think Rainer came in with like 27 big blinds and Sam came in with like 30 big blinds. And I mean, like, they're probably going to have us win slightly against me at 30 big blinds, but 30 fucking big blinds and I'm a professional poker player. It's like, I know what I'm doing, Like, they might know 2% more with that stack depth or whatever, like, but I mean, that's not, it's pretty tough to fuck up that stack, if you've done the work.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just got, it's not like you're sitting 150 big blinds deep with Linus Loliger on your direct left or someone where he's going to have a massive edge on you and you're just going to, it's like, you've got 30 big blinds and I have pocket eights, like, good luck. Like, it's not really, there's not too much to it, you know.
So you play the player quite a lot as well as the cards, or you kind of, like, a lot of people sit down at the table, from my experience and from what I see and what I hear, and I'm not going to mention any names, but they'll sit there and they'll go, oh no, I'm up against Phil Ivey, as you've said, Phil Hellmuth, whatever. And you can tell, even watching it on the telly, that it affects their game. Are you one of these people that takes on board who you're playing against, but you still try and in your head think, you know what, this guy is a player the same as me? Or does it affect you? If they've, like, back in the day, more to the point, did it affect you back in the day? Were you kind of a little bit of a fanboy when it came to stuff like that? Or you thought, actually, no?
Not super much. The first couple of times I played with Ivy, I think he was the only one that I was kind of a little bit like, fucking hell, it's Phil Ivey. You know what I mean? And but to be honest, like, when you get to, like, when you're playing these final tables, like, you sit down and you've got some tough opponents, but I mean, I like to think I'm quite tough as well, so it's going to be tough for them too. It's going to, so at the end of the day, it is what it is, Like, if you do the work and you execute well, you're going to do well regardless. I mean, everyone gets 2 cards.
Yeah.
You can only do what you can do. But yeah, like, earlier, like the early Phil Ivey ones were quite fun because, like, he just exudes a kind of, he doesn't give a fuck kind of bossiness, which is quite funny. In fact, the Sochi, the first time I played with him in a high roller was in Sochi 2 years ago, I think, or maybe 2.5 years ago. And we're in it was the 100K buy-in. And this is, like, obviously massive buy-in for me, and for Phil, it's probably not that big a deal. And we're at the end of the night, and I'm in this massive hand against one of the Asian VIP guys. And this is, like, I'm in the middle of his hand. And he's kind of just sitting there, and then I'm just in this hand, and he just looks at me during the hand, and he just goes, "Are we done for the night?" And I was just like, "Well, you are, yeah. I'm still just playing this big hand here, mate, like that." And he was cool. And he just flips out. He just takes $100 bill out and just leaves them on his chips and fucks off. Amazing.
Balls.
Yeah. Just doesn't bag his own chips or anything. He's just like, yeah, I'm gone. See ya. Like,
yeah, somebody else can get this sorted. So you won Malta. You won APT Malta. A few Chateaubriand after that, was there? A few aperitifs, Marlene?
Yeah, we had a few. There was a few drinks after that. Actually, it was a good party. It was actually weird because the final table was really quick. Because I just sunran everyone. So it was done in about a couple hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I'd finished, I was ready to go out partying. And there was, like, folk like Jake and that weren't even out of their bed yet.
So it could have been 11:30 at night then, eh?
Yeah. It was just like, oh, we'll come down and reel when it gets down to like 3 or 4 people or whatever. And obviously it was just fucking done. Yeah. So, but we managed to get everyone out and met up and had a few drinks and stuff. And yeah, it was good fun. That was nice, and it was like first major win. So it was.
Yeah, I was going to say that was like a little monkey off your back sort of thing. A little.
Yeah, always nice to get. Yeah, always nice to get the first one off for sure.
Yeah, the second part of the Triple Crown that we're on about was Punta Cana for the WPT.
Yeah.
335k. Lovely location to do it. Anything that pops up with that one? Anything that springs to mind?
Yeah, fucking Ludo got me a belter. We were over and we swapped 5% and everything, and he just comes over to me before and goes, "I've got a good feeling about you in this one." It's like, "Do you want to up the swap to 10%?" And I said, "Are you going to play this properly? Because you've just got here and you've just been raffling about, blah, blah, blah." And he goes, yeah, no, listen, look, I've just got a good feeling. I want to up the swap to 10%. And I'll play completely seriously with that. I was like, right, okay, fair enough. Shook on it. As soon as I'm shaking it, I go back to my chips and I can hear him walking off and I just hear him, "Cocktails!" Fuck's sake. Obviously, I end up winning it and he gets another fucking 17.5 grand out of me. He was gone. He was done in about 40 minutes.
Oh, some boy. On the point of like pals and that, have you got any like? Obviously, you've got pals, but have you got anybody that you travel with regular to these events? Like back in the day compared to now, or still?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, me and Ludo travel a lot to the same stuff. Because if I didn't book his flights, Ludo wouldn't ever go anywhere. So, fucking Party Poker should have me on retainer, mate. But yeah, I travel with Ludo a lot, and just always kind of have done. We used to room together a lot, but I think now we're both a bit older and grumpier. We don't really room together anymore. We usually get our own rooms now that we're both not grinding back under like loads of makeup, try to scrape it by. It's we can splash out in our own room and that, so I don't need to listen to fucking Blondie at 6 a.m. But and he doesn't need to listen to me snoring a bit then. But yeah, probably Ludo's the one I do.
Ludo's the main one, is it?
Yeah, well, obviously he goes to all the party stuff because he's obviously sponsored by Party, and the Party Millions is like the one major tournament I haven't won yet, so I'm trying to win it. So I'm going to pretty much all of them as well. So they're usually both in there.
Aye, because I mean, this even I'm looking at the lineup for this. The final table for this, you got Giannis. Everybody knows Giannis. Brighton, I think he comes from. He lives in England, I know that, but he's a decent player. A few names there at spring. Anything from that, apart from Ludo getting an extra 5% at you with the cocktails, is there anything that springs out your mind? Any hands leading up to that?
Not any super. I mean, I think I played pretty well. The final table was tough again, but it was tough in a different way. It was all kind of good online players. So people that hadn't really made their name live, but were still very strong players, But again, at the final, I mean, I think, I just ran pretty well at the final again. It's like, it's tough to, like at that point, if I was making a final, I was just winning the tournament, which is the opposite of what's happened over the last 18 months. So I guess I'm kind of paying my dues in retrospect. But so I've had at the moment it's just 8th and everything. But back then it was just I'm 9 of 9. I'm just going to win anyway. Like that's fine.
Unlucky boys and girls.
Yeah, I'll take this one. You get the next one. But no, it was just I think I lost like one flip the entire final, and that was it. And I just the heads up, I lasted one hand. I just shoved on the guy with ace-5 and he called with king-jack and I just held, and that was it. It was just done. Which was, if he gets there, then it's like totally different. It's a whole different ball game again, and he actually went on to win the next tournament, the 3K, I think. Troy Kennevel, he's an online guy. I used to Techid, I think his name's Techid online or something. Used to battle with him online a lot back in the day as well. So yeah, he's a good player too. So it's good for him that he got his, because he played well at the final. Oh yeah, fuck! I actually forgot about that. 3-handed, I got ace queen in against his ace king for all the chips and just flopped the queen.
As you do, yeah.
It's going to be sickening for the viewers to listen. I've just got lucky on so many finals that I've forgotten these like 100k 3 out. It's another one where I just got there for infinite.
Yeah. It's Firaldo. Wait a minute, dealer. You know who you're dealing to here, and yeah. Thank you.
That
There
queen
we
on
go.
there, hen. Cheers.
So that was part 2. Now, after you done that, did you know the enormity of what you could achieve if you got the World Series of Poker bracelet? Did that cross your mind at all? Or
Yeah, I went chasing. To be honest, I really wanted to do it. I quite like having like goals, and like that's the kind of one of the main reasons I play tournaments rather than cash. Is just like I like the idea of there being like achievements, like winners.
Mhm.
You know, it's like this is the winner of this tournament, but rather than cash, where it's just you play and you make. You know, that's always kind of somewhat quite a competitive person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I obviously I was trying to like a lot harder to win a bracelet. I'd already got a runner up
Yes.
in 2013 where I had the guy all in on 7 occasions for the bracelet, and he just won all 7. I started off like 7-1 chip lead and got him to like 12-1, and just couldn't win the all in for the bracelet, and ended up getting second in the end.
Did you not finish second in another one as well? Another World Series one?
Yeah, I finished second in the 1500 shootout to Safia.
That was it.
Yeah, she bashed me up, man. Yeah, so I had that as well, and it was the race to be Scotland's first bracelet as well.
Yes,
I believe, and I think it's still the only bracelet Scotland
Yes.
has still to this day, which is kind of cool. But I knew Vampy had a couple of seconds before, and
yeah.
Ludo could always win some fucking 48k PLO buy-in tournament or some shit like 87 runners and just cheat me out my glory. So I had to get there early. But
Because I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, I went for it, and I went to the World Series. I mean, I go to the World Series every year, but I wasn't going to go to Rosvedov for the one that I won. And actually, Sam, I was eventually going to go, and then I wasn't going to play the event that I'd won. And Sam Grafton actually talked me into playing it, so it's going to be really good. Just sell a bit because it's 25k buy-in, so it's like you can't just go dusting them off.
Because it was a 25k high roller, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I ended up going, and everything kind of worked out. So pretty good.
I mean, playing that event. I mean, I'm looking here again. We've got another. It's only given me the top 17 because I think that must have been Mincash.
Yeah.
This is another who's who of. I'm not going to say poker royalty because I think poker royalty you have to be in the Doyle Brunson Ivy sort of category. But the final table was Benji Pollack, Klaas, guy from Germany. Can't pronounce his surname. I'm not going to him as well. Ryan Rees, Sylvan Loosely, another Scottishman, Andrew Letham, Anthony Sayut as well. Now, I think it was either that year or the year before Anthony and Benjamin were at the main event, World Series final table.
Yeah, there's a few November Niners at the final table, actually.
And you had Ryan had won it like 2 years before that as well.
I think so, yeah.
And you Bryn Kenny, Ray Kempe, Dario Sammartino, Nick Petrangle, Thought Gruesome, Timothy Adams. To finish ahead of all these guys, again, they're just poker players like everybody else, but they're regular names up in that top 5, top 20 bracket. And you bossed them, or was it a struggle?
It's a bit like I think I was really happy with how I played throughout the tournament. I think I came into the final table and because it was pretty shallow near the end. The stack, I think it was like 30 big blind average, so it wasn't super deep at the end. Which I'll be honest with, like kind of like as a tournament player, it's kind of good, like because I kind of know these spots inside out, so it's not, you can feel very confident that what you're going to do is the right thing, which takes a lot of the pressure off because if you bust out doing the right thing, I don't really give a shit when that happens. The only time I get annoyed when I bust out is when I fuck it up, which happens a good amount. But if I bust in a massive pot where I'm happy with how I played the hand, it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I mean, it was a great field to get through. It was, I don't want to sound like faux modest or anything like that, but it was like quite shallow coming in the home stretch. So it's not like I'm absolutely dusting Timothy Adams off at 100 big blinds, you know, just fucking melting his face or anything like that, you know. It is pretty shallow, and it is what I played every day online for years, you know, so it's not like I was a stranger to it. But I mean, I was happy with how I played overall, and again, just ran pretty well at the final, won a couple of key all-ins. I was 9 of 9 at one point, really short. Managed to come back and win, which is great, and played. I think I played pretty well. So,
I mean, November 2017, 745 grand. Was the final table 9-handed?
Might have been 8-handed.
8-handed. Just because you're going back to when you're talking about Mota, how they played. I know the Stars, they played 8 or 9 at the unofficial final table. Play 8, then
it might
come
have been
back.
The same. It might have been 9 and then 8. Or it might have been 9 unofficial, then 8 official.
I mean, does that play into your mind at all, regardless of who's at the table? But if you're going 9-handed, 8-handed, 6-handed, does it play down to your head how you have to adjust your game, or?
Well, I mean, it's like you just kind of play as the situation goes. I mean, you know, if there's a big pay jump coming up, you have to play accordingly. You know, that's kind of like the problem with televised tournament poker nowadays is that when a final table is played well by a lot of people, it's fucking tedious to watch because it's just a lot of folding. It's not like the old days where people were just lighting money on, because they didn't know they were doing it, but they were just lighting money on fire, getting it in. Like first and second would get it in ace king to eights, and just like there'd be this whole excitement and stuff. And nowadays people are more educated, so if you've got a good lineup at the final table, it's just a lot of the big stack raising and a lot of every other cunt folding, and it's like pretty boring to watch. So it was, you know, it was kind of just a lot of that. There was a lot of ICM pressure, but again, I know these things. I know what I'm doing. I know how it affects these things. So it's not, you know, it is what it is. That, you know, if you're 9 of 9 in a situation, this is what you got to do. If you're 4 of 9, this is what you got to do. It's just
go through the gears, sort of changing gears, and
it's just, you know, if you know you've got to play like if you're 3 of 9 and there's loads of like the other 6 guys are really short, the other 4 guys below you are really short or whatever, and chip leader puts you all in, you know, the correct place to play like a little bitch, and you know, it's just you just got to suck it up and do it, you know. So
that's it with ICM and all.
It is what it is, you know.
Yeah. Now going to that final table, was there any point where you thought, "Fuck, I'm getting close to history"? Because first ever Scottish Triple Crown champ, as I said, second ever youngest. Did it dawn on you at any stage, I can actually do this here, I can get this Triple Crown?
When we got heads up, that was the first time I thought about it, to be honest. When I'm at the final, it's just, I don't really think about that because it's my job, innit? So like, I'm at a final table, this is what I need to do. When I got heads up, I was like, okay, this is a good shot, you know, because, I mean, at that point it is, obviously. But the thing is, when you make a final table, especially when like I was down as 9 of 9 at that point, you don't win very frequently from that spot. And if you build those up in your head, you're gonna really feel let down a lot, because, you know, it's the same thing. Like I know a lot of people when they get down to like the last 30 of a tournament, they get really excited about and stuff like that, and it's like you just win very infrequently from that spot, you know. So it's like you're building up these runs in your head, and then when you lose, and when you get 12th, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, when will it end? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm usually pretty detached from all that kind of stuff. It's just about doing what you can to play your best. And then, I mean, when I got heads up, I was like, okay, I've got a shot here. Let's fucking do this. But up until then, it was just kind of, you know, just need to do what you do, you know.
I'm right in saying that the heads up lasted quite a bit.
I think it wasn't super long, but there was like one hand that took like 15 minutes, so it felt like long, where I was bluffing for like most of my stack with 7 high, and Ben was just fucking big handsome French bastard across the table, 6 foot, staring me down the whole time, and I'm just sat there, the light shining in my eyes. I don't want to blink or anything. I'm like fucking shiting it, but not show anything. I'm like, just fucking fold, man. just fold the whole time. I'm just like, it's like right in my face, and he's just. It was honestly, I think 10 minutes. He's just absolutely staring me down. I'm like, just get that folded, big man. But
yeah, wee toilet break after that, was it?
I mean, the actual. I think we were both quite tired at that point because it had been a long day. So it was, you know, it was just getting to. But I mean, we were fairly shallow heads up as well, so it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. I mean, it lasted. I didn't think it lasted many hands, but it lasted a while because of that hand and stuff like that.
Because you had a decent rail with you there as well. I remember. I can't mind the names, but I remember there was a few boys there going absolute bananas when I think they realised the enormity of what happened the minute you won with the Triple Crown and everything just fell into place, sort of thing. I mean, do you take into account when you get to final tables, do you always have a good rail there? Like, again, we spoke before about the old British rail, and you can include Irish players and stuff like that in it as well. There's always that banter. We've heard the shoe bombs and stuff like that. People don't know what a shoe bomb is. It's getting a Jaeger or whatever it is, a beer into your shoe and drinking it. Yeah. Do you, when you've been at final tables, is there a certain rail that always follows you there if they're not playing, or if?
See, the weird thing, like the three major ones that I've won, I've never had like a super massive rail because Malta, it finished before everyone was awake, basically. Like Ludo and stuff was there. I think Charlie, Carol, and Ben were there, and Brian Newton was there. So a few of my mates were there, which was nice. But it was done before most of the people, the rowdy folk, had arrived, basically. The World Series was in Rotterdam, so not that many folk made the trip. So it was like Ludo and Sam were the main two, and there was a few others who escape me just now. But and then in Punta Cana, there was another tournament going on at the same time as the final. So the other main event, the 3K, had actually started. So there wasn't. I don't think there was any rail for that one because everyone was playing. But like when I was heads up against Safia, I had a massive rail, but I think they were all there for her rather than me, to be honest. Go
on, Firaldo. We really want the last that you win, you know.
So like actually at the events that I haven't won, I've had a bigger rail, but that's so I'm not saying that's the reason, but but I remember that 2013 there was a few on the rail, and I asked the tournament director if I could get the real Jaeger bombs. He's like, no, you could. He's like, yeah, we'll get the drinks guy over. So the drinks guy comes over and says, oh, can you get? I mean, I don't mind paying if I have to pay. Obviously, it's not free or whatever. And he's like, oh no, we can. He was being quite obtuse about it. It's like, no, we can only bring it to the players. It's only the players that can do it. I'm like, well, it's all right. I mean, I'll pay for it or whatever. It's just so they can have a few drinks and not have to go all the way through. I think this is before when Hal was right through the back. Just there with that. Like, no, we can only do it to the players or whatever. And I was like, all right, okay, fine. And he goes, what will you have? And I went, I'm pretty thirsty, mate. I'll have 20 Jaeger bombs, please.
And for those that know you, that could have been an order as well.
The poor guy had to bring it, and I think it was Red Bull Robbie that was doing the announcing for the final table, and he's just got this thing in his ear going, I can just see it going like metal like that, and he just leans over me and goes, right, we'll bring them this time, but you can't do that again. Fair enough.
And have you been a part of a few rails yourself? Have you been?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy a good rail. It's nice to like experience it where there's no pressure on you. You're just sitting. You're just So it's a lot of fun. So I do enjoy a good rail for sure. I've been on Jake's one at EPT London where I'd lost my glasses, so I couldn't see the board. So there's one point where I celebrate a hand that we actually lost. And there's been a few Vegas ones and a couple of other ones. Yeah, I like a good rail. Rails are fun.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you could laugh and stuff like that. It's good to. Obviously, they can get rowdy, but I think I've never experienced or seen one that's got properly out of hand. There was a few that spring to mind, but it's all done in good heart. I don't think there's any like trouble with them.
Nah.
Not that I can think of. There's one story where when we were in Prague, on a kind of vacation time before any work started, and there was you, me, and is it Arsh?
Yeah.
It was the night we met the Captain Morgan in the Chapeau Rouge.
That's right.
I think that was the first time I'd ever sampled the proper absinthe.
Yeah.
I think we're about 5 deep in absinthe and about 45 deep in everything else. And we went and met Kev McPhee.
That's right, yeah.
And we go in, there's Kev there, there's a couple of Canadian online guys now there with their girlfriends. And we go in, and you go to me, all right, we've got to get drinks, we've got to show them that the Scots mean business. It's like, aye. We can't get Jaeger because Jaeger's too... Right, barman, for some reason, I don't know why, you ordered 28 B-52s. And now, I understand the B-52 bit, but the 28 bit, I don't know why. There's 5 of us. 5, 1, 2, no, what is it? 5, 6, 7 of us, whatever, it doesn't matter. So he brings them over, and he starts lighting them. Now, for me, anybody that likes alcohol, why are you doing that? It's killing it. So, lights them all, tray gets popped down. Now, I know Kev, love Kev, I've loved him for a while. And Kev's like, yeah, here we go. And one of his mates goes, oh, guys, this is amazing. Thank you, Niall Farrell. And he picks up, he goes, and let's toast to our Scottish friends. And as he does that, his fucking sleeve goes up on fire. And everybody's trying to help him apart from you and me who were pissing ourselves on the floor. For everybody watching, the guy was all right. It was just like a wee fabric burn, but fucking hell, man. The guy could have died and you and me like, oh, God, son. But yeah, it's stuff like that. It's because I can remember Kev's face is like bursting out laughing trying to put this out. But it's just stuff like that. It's keeps the dream alive and all that, you know. Prague is a phenomenal place.
Oh, a great place. Love Prague.
Oh, it's great. Anyway, you're doing some work with, for those that don't know, is it No Limit GG?
Yes, that's right. No Limit
It's
Gaming.
a wee bit of a rundown for that, for the people.
Yeah, it's like it's an esports organisation, which is, I believe, a very booming industry at the moment. So it's a lot of like, I think we have a Counter-Strike team, a Warcraft team, and I think the idea is to kind of slowly move into other esports. But also they do a lot of poker streaming. So I've done a few streams, like Goose Core's done a few streams, Stefan, Julius, there's loads of the guys, like really top players that are streaming, like probably the best group of players that stream online in terms of technical ability and me. So you can get a bit of everything, really. You know, you can come and hang out with me while I play and have a few beers and talk some poker or whatever, or you can watch like Goose Core or something, play 50-100 cash and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. The last stream I did for them was the Irish Open online, which was a good laugh. Where it was I was just one table in the Irish Open online. I was trying to pretend like it was live, so I was just having beers and Jaegers and stuff and having a chat with everyone. And like, cause it was real name on party poker as well, so like if there's loads of people I knew in the field, so I could like berate them and stuff like that and try and phone them during hands and stuff like that. It was pretty good. But yeah, it's pretty good. Been with them for a couple of years now, and it's going to try and grow. Essentially, I think it's like the poker stuff's to build awareness, and I think that the main focus is going to be on the kind of esports kind of side of things. So it's a cool project. It's a very ambitious project. It's Stefan Schillebel, who a lot of people know. I know Fedor's involved with it as well. Rainer Kempe, there's like loads of top players. So yeah, check it out. That's officially me plugging it. It's good to watch. I know the academy team as well, who are younger guys that do a bit of coaching with the other guys, and they stream. And they're actually really good young players as well. So it's a good learning instrument, I would say. So it's good.
And do you do coaching yourself online, or is it just through this you just do
I haven't
table
really.
analysis?
I'm meant to be helping do some coaching with the academy guys, but I'll be honest, I've been pretty lazy with it. But I mean, they've been getting the coaching off of players that are probably a bit more technically adept than me, so I don't think they're missing out too much. A lot of my stuff's going to kind of be more, kind of exploit population tendency stuff, because I think if you're going to learn PO solver stuff, I mean, you don't get me wrong, I can work the old PO solver. I like the PlayStation 2, but
I know where that comes from. I know where that comes.
But I mean, there's going to be guys that are a lot better with it than a lot more proficient with it than I am. So you'd rather learn it from them. But in terms of other coaching, I've never really done. I mean, I do some kind of informal stuff. Like when I went and moved in with Picasso, I was living with them. So like you're not coaching, but you're talking poker all the time. So it helps. You both get better talking to each other and stuff like that. But I've never really done any like official coaching, to be honest. I've got coaching. I've had coaching off people, but I've never done it myself. So
cool. One thing I did want to say and ask. I've seen a few of your mates, live poker players, wear patches. Firaldo, second youngest ever Triple Crown winner. Grinder, crusher online. All-round good guy. Where's the fucking sponsorship?
Good question. I don't know. I've done a bit of like casual stuff with a few guys. Like obviously I did the 8-team thing with 888 for the main event stuff. It was a lot of fun. And before lockdown happened, there was something in the pipeline for me to possibly be doing something with GG Poker. But obviously that kind of got canned with, I think they were going to be looking at perhaps doing a live tour in the UK that I was going to be somewhat involved with. But that's a good question. I mean, I don't know, to be honest.
Is it something that interests you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that I think I'd be really, really good at, to be honest. I know a lot of the guys, it's like, I've heard from friends like, I need to go off to play this €300 tournament in some place in Belgium or something this week with a thing, or I need to go and do this, but I fucking love that shit. I do that for fun.
Yes.
Like you'll catch me in like a lot of the time in Dublin, where there'll be like a €300 tournament on or something. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking go to that because recreationally, because it's fun. No, it's something that I mean, I think I've been close with a couple of things, but it's never really come off for me, which I think is a shame because I do genuinely think I'd be very good at it. It's like meeting people and generating fun, and I've got quite a big social media reach and all that kind of stuff. I've got however 10,000 Twitter followers and all that stuff. And I'm pretty, I'm like integrity, top notch, all that stuff, and I like to think I'm pretty funny and also obviously handsome. So.
Compulsive liar comes into mind, I know.
And modest.
That's, I mean, I think the way you handle yourself online, articulate, as you say, you talk a good game. You're obviously a good player because the results don't lie. You're one of these people who loves to travel. Doesn't matter if it's a $5 buy-in or a 250k buy-in. You still give the same sort of enthusiasm, the same sort of skill level. I think that there's a massive opportunity out there for online or live sponsors. So I mean, if you're watching, Firaldo's up for auction. I'll take 5.5% in Jaegers.
Full sellout mode. I don't know, to be honest. Like, I think there's maybe a question of like professionalism, but I think that's a kind of. Maybe the persona I put across comes across maybe sometimes as unprofessional, but it's not. I mean, that's not the reality. It's like you don't really like get to this point of your career without being professional. I mean, I've worked proper jobs and stuff like that. Like if I have to be on time for something, I'll be on time for something. If I have to not have a beer, I'll not have a beer. If I have to stop saying cunt on Twitter, I'll try my best.
Aye, well, aye, right, okay. I mean, you don't get top 200 all time. Out of everyone who's played the game, sniffed the game, looked at a card without being whatever you want to say about yourself. Now, I'm sure I echo a hell of a lot of people here by saying you're underrated, you're underselling yourself here, mate. I think there should have been a patch on you a long time ago, regardless of who it was. I mean,
Very kind of you.
I don't think it's anything to do with you using the see you next Tuesday every second word, talking about Celtic. I mean, it might be the Celtic thing. It might be the retweeting fucking Odsonne Edward, come on the hoops and all that shit. But
I'll need to get Tenants on the blower and get a sponsorship for them. Big red
Tenant super.
Big Jägermeister patch down here.
Then you'll know about what to lose. So going forward, just going to wrap it up a bit. What's next for Firaldo? Anything once lockdown gets its arse into gear?
Well, I mean, I'll just be back out on the circuit. With the wee man being born, kind of priorities change a little bit, obviously. So, yeah. Before my kind of goal was to get to the very, very top and to be in all the super high rollers and to be the best of the best kind of situation. I still want to be as good as I can be, but I have to be a lot more cautious with the bankroll and stuff like that now, obviously, because it's, you know, if it was just me single, and if I went fucking broke, it's not the end of the world, you know, I can just make it back. But if it's me and the missus and the wee man and I go broke, then we're fucking done, you know. So so I'm not sure how long. I don't know if I'll be in the super, super high rollers again for a while. I'm just going to get back in, because I just need to have like a bigger bankroll than I did, than I would have needed if I was on my own. So I've done. So it's
sponsorship. Sponsorship.
So just getting back on the grind. I mean, you'll still see me in everything probably like 25k and below. You just won't see me dusting off at the hundreds for a while, I don't think, unless, you know, I just go on a big fucking heater. If you're listening up there, anytime you're ready, get it in the mix.
Or down there if you want, you know.
Yeah, like the last 18 months, it's been like, or 2 years or so, it's just been like the reverse of the 2 years when I won the Triple Crown. So it's like I've made about probably more final tables, but I'm just getting fucked in like 8th, 7th, 6th for not a lot, for like decent money, but not, you know, when buy-ins and stuff come in. So it's like, and I think that's probably fair considering how hot I ran in the first ones. You know, like I made 3 major final tables and won 3, like, you know, but like there's been a lot of like 14th to 6th place finishes over the last 2 years, and that doesn't really help. It pays the bills, but it doesn't help you progress. Yes. And I like to feel like I'm moving forward all the time, and I kind of have to try and reframe that just now with the wee man and everything, because I'm not going to be able to go forward at the same speed I would like and be sensible. So I have to kind of try and reframe my expectations a little bit, and you know, just keep plugging away, and hopefully we'll all be out and about again soon. And
I hope so, buddy.
I mean, honestly, that like the first tournament that runs is just going to be fucking massive, isn't it?
$5 rebuy at the fucking riverboat in Glasgow.
Honestly, mate, anything like just I just want to pop across and go play €300 in Dublin. You know what I mean?
So, any excuse. Anyway, my man, I'm going to thank you very much for your time. Love to the family as per usual, and we'll catch up soon. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a good laugh.
Take care, bro, and I'll catch you later.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.